Hello everyone and welcome to the UC San Diego's pre-arrival webinar for international graduate students. This webinar was developed for incoming international master's or PhD UC San Diego students in F1 or J1 status. The International Students and Programs Office would like to congratulate you on your acceptance to UC San Diego and extend a warm welcome. We are here to assist you throughout your stay in the United States, as well as provide services that enhance the quality of your experience in the United States and contribute to your academic success at UC San Diego. During this webinar, we are here to assist you. My name is Graciela, and I'm going to explain a lot of the important information that you should know before arriving to UC San Diego. My colleagues Daniela Theos and Adriana Pereira from Associated Residential Community Housing, also known as ARCH, and Rosana Durmiendo, one of our graduate admissions evaluators, are also present and will respond to any questions that you might have after the webinar. We will cover a lot of information, so please ask that you watch the entire webinar before submitting questions. We will be posting a recording of this presentation within the next couple of weeks on our website. So please do not feel rushed to write down all the links and additional information included in the presentation. Also, we have uploaded a PDF version of these slides on the control panel to the right of your screen. So you may download these PDFs anytime during this webinar to keep as a reference. Again, please listen to the whole webinar prior to submitting questions, as we may review many of the questions that you currently have. Today we're going to talk about some important topics that relate to your arrival in San Diego and your studies at UC San Diego. We will cover the following topics: International Students and Programs Office, and review the forms I-20 for F1 visa and DS 2019 for the J1 visa. Arriving in the U.S., housing and health insurance, campus resources for graduate students, frequently asked questions, and approaching deadlines and reminders. Now, before we get started, I'd like to explain how to use the GoToWebinar control panel. If you would like to submit a question, you may send it through the question box and include your full name and PID if needed. Rosanna, Daniela, and Adriana will answer questions as they come in. We will also stay online for about 15 to 20 minutes after the webinar completion to answer any additional questions. We hope we will be able to get to all of your questions, but keep in mind that there are many of you and a few staff members answering questions, so please be patient. Throughout the webinar, I may ask you a few questions. You will notice a hand signal on your control panel. Please raise your hand by clicking on that hand, and then you lower it by clicking on it once more. So if everyone can please raise your hand, indicating that you can hear me. Great! Now I'd like to know who is here. Please enter your home country in the question box so we know that you know how to use the question box, and we can see who's joining us today. Great, wow. We have China, Russia, Brazil, China, India, Egypt, Indonesia, Mexico, Taiwan, Greece, Spain, Germany, Vietnam, Malaysia. Wow, we are so lucky to have all of you here. Thank you for joining us and being with us this morning or this evening. So let's continue. So For this upcoming fall quarter, UC San Diego admitted over 2,500 new international students and over 850 international graduate students. The International Students and Programs Office is here to assist you from the very start. We provide pre-arrival information and orientation for new international students, as well as advising services for you and your families. You can come to us if you have any questions regarding your international student visa status, and in addition, we offer fun cross-cultural programs and activities for all students at UC San Diego. The International Students and Programs Office website is full of important information. Please mark it as one of your favorites, as it is one of mine, and bookmark it onto your computer. We have posted many documents that are related to your stay in San Diego on this website. You can access request forms, information guides, tutorials, on-campus and off-campus resources for international students, and much more. We would suggest that you get familiar with our website and take some time to explore all of its links. Remember also, you can email us at istudents@ucsd.edu if you have any questions. When you go to our website, please click on Newly Admitted Students to view pre-arrival checklists. Then go into Graduate Students. You will see some frequently asked questions that we get from students like you, and we hope that you use this as a resource for whatever you need to do before arriving in the U.S. Please take some time at the end of this webinar to review our website under Newly Admitted Students, and you will find important information about orientation and document check requirements. So you may also want to get started by connecting with us now. If you'd like, you can join our Facebook group by searching for UC San Diego International Students and Programs Office. Let's talk a little bit about passport and visa process, as well as what to expect upon your arrival to San Diego. By now, many of you may have already received your I-20 or DS 2019. These forms are certificates of eligibility to study in the U.S. If you are a new student in the U.S., take this form along with the required documents listed on the U.S. Embassy website to apply for the F1 visa or J1 visa. So, if you are transferring from another institution to UC San Diego, you will need to request that your CVIS record be transferred from your old institution to UC San Diego, along with requesting your document through the iPortal. Your immigration documents, your passport, I-20 or DS 2019, and visa are very important, so please make sure you keep them safe. So let's do a quick show of hands. Please raise your hand on the control panel if you have already received your I-20 or your DS 2019. Great. All right, so if not, if you haven't received your I-20 or DS 2019 yet, and you have not submitted your request via iPortal, you will need to request this document as soon as possible. The iPortal is an online system to apply for the I-20 or DS 2019. You can access the iPortal via the link that is shown here. So if you have any questions, you can email us at igraduate@ucsd.edu. That's igraduate@ucsd.edu. So this is what the I-20 and the DS 2019 look like. When you receive the corresponding forms, please make sure the details are correct, such as the spelling of your name, your birth date, country of birth, and citizenship. If there are any issues, please contact us immediately. Be sure to arrive to UC San Diego by the start date on your I-20. For most graduate students, we have issued the document with a September 16th program start date, which is the day of graduate student division orientation. Please remember that you are eligible to enter the U.S. only up to 30 days before the program start date on your I-20 or DS 2019. If you have a start date on your document of September 16th, you may enter the U.S. as early as August 18th in F1 status. So now let's take a poll question. Let's see how many of you have already have your F1 visa. Please answer the poll question that I'm about to issue and let me know. So it looks like 88% of you have already received your F1 visa. Congratulations. Please make the most of your time during the summer and prepare everything. You're one step closer to arriving in the U.S. So now that you have your F1 visa in your passport and your UCSD I-20, your next step is to become part of the UC San Diego community and to arrive at the port of entry into the United States. Most of you will be arriving by plane, so let's talk about what you should expect at the airport. Some of you may be arriving with family or traveling by yourself or with friends. We highly recommend securing a connecting flight into San Diego International Airport, which is also known as Lindbergh Field. Los Angeles International Airport, or LAX, which is pictured here, is approximately 2.5 hours away by car from San Diego. San Francisco's International Airport is about 10 hours away by car, so please plan accordingly. We will talk about ways to get to San Diego from Los Angeles a bit later. But first, when you arrive at your first airport in the United States, you will have to go through U.S. Customs. Be sure to carry your immigration documents in your carry-on bag. Do not pack them in your luggage. You will be asked to show the immigration officer your passport, visa, and I-20 or DS 2019. Remember, a visa allows a foreign citizen coming from abroad to travel to the United States and enter a port of entry and request permission to enter the U.S. Applicants should be aware that a visa does not guarantee entry into the United States. The Department of Homeland Security and Customs and Border Protection have the authority to permit or deny admission to the United States. If you are allowed to enter the U.S. Customs and Border Protection official will determine the length of your visit on the electronic form I-94, which is often referred to as your arrival departure record. When you arrive at customs, your passport will be scanned and you will receive an entry or admission stamp in your passport, which will include your entry date, your status of entry, which is F1 or J1, and the duration of your status in the U.S. Your passport will also be scanned in order to create what is called an electronic I-94 record. It is very important. You must access this electronic record using the link above after you enter the U.S. and print a copy of your records. We also recommend that you save a PDF or image of the I-94 for your own records. You must bring this copy with you to your International Student Orientation on September 21st. We will review all your immigration documents and make sure your entry was processed correctly. Errors on your I-94 could negatively impact any J1 or F1 benefits you may request, such as a U.S. driver's license, employment in the U.S., or even further future travel and re-entry into the U.S. So after you have cleared customs, you should follow the signs to the International Arrivals and Baggage Claim to pick up your baggage. Once you have arrived in San Diego and collected your bags, you need to get to UCSD. So there are several options to get to UC San Diego. You can have your friends or your family bring you to campus. You can take a public city bus. You can take a UC San Diego shuttle, or use other forms of ground transportation from the San Diego airport, for example, taxis. If you would like additional transportation options, please refer to the International Center's Arrival Resources page on our website. The San Diego airport is about 15 miles from campus. If you are taking a shuttle or a cab, please expect the drive to be about 20 to 30 minutes without traffic and 45 minutes with traffic. If you fly into Los Angeles, you can take the train, bus, rent a car, and of course, you can also book a connecting flight from LAX to San Diego. As mentioned earlier, Los Angeles is about a 2.5-hour drive by car from San Diego. Please use the links listed to find more information about these methods of transportation. Now, you've made it to UC San Diego, and we know you will probably be very excited and tired by the time you get to campus. But there are a few very important things that you need to remember once you arrive. All new international students to UC San Diego must report to the International Center within 15 days of your program start date. This is a requirement of your F1 or J1 status, so we can register your CVIS record. Failure to complete the document check may result in the termination of your CVIS record and loss of your F1 or J1 status. Please be sure to review the document check process before you arrive to UC San Diego so you can be prepared. Information regarding this process can be found on the link at the top of the page. Please note that the document check can be completed by attending our International Student Orientation, which is mandatory on September 21st. So, now we're going to talk about iTriton, the new international student online training. It's required for all new international students attending UC San Diego. iTriton online training is a 55-minute web-based module that gives international students the fundamental knowledge and tools to navigate their way through UC San Diego. iTriton does not replace the on-campus international orientation, so please make sure you complete both requirements. Since this is not a live webcast or webinar, you may proceed through the online training at your own pace. You should exit the training before finishing, should you exit the training before finishing, you will be taken back to the page where you last left off. Completion of iTriton online training is required by September 16th for all fall 2015 students. Now, let's take a poll. How many of you have completed the iTriton online training program already? Wonderful. Almost 70% of you have already done it. No wonder you were admitted to UC San Diego. You're so responsible. Let's continue. So, don't forget that in addition to International Student Orientation, you are required to attend all the new Graduate Student Orientation on Wednesday, September 16th. This is an orientation conducted by Graduate Division for all graduate students. If you would like more information on the All Grad Orientation, you can visit the Graduate Division website. Remember, this orientation is different from the International Student Orientation, so don't confuse them. Please stay tuned for all grad-specific welcome events hosted by the Graduate Student Association, GSA. Events scheduled will be posted on the website listed above. Now that we've covered Graduate Division Student Orientation, let's talk about new International Student Orientation. The International Graduate Student Orientation is on Monday, September 21st at 1 p.m., so please make sure you're here by then. This International Center orientation is mandatory and required of all students. Let's take our final poll for today. How many of you have registered for new student orientation? Wonderful. About 90% of you have already registered for International Student Orientation. We have a lot of fun things planned for you and good food as well, so we are looking forward to seeing you there. Many of you will be living on campus, so we will be going over some basic campus residential information in the next few slides. We will also be reviewing important health insurance information, so please stay tuned. If you would like to do more research about housing options at UC San Diego, you can research the UC San Diego housing page, which is Associated Residential Community Housing, also known as ARCH. ARCH offers housing to eligible graduate and professional students. In addition to the housing website, please check out the Graduate Division page, as well as the International Center's housing page. Students are eligible for ARCH housing if you are currently enrolled, have been formally accepted to UC San Diego, or have submitted your intent to matriculate. Residents must maintain full-time status enrolled in at least 12 units each quarter in courses leading to a degree granted by UC San Diego to continue to stay eligible for ARCH housing. So, health insurance within the UC system is mandatory. Health insurance payments as a new student will automatically be enrolled and deducted from your tuition. All students are required to purchase the student health insurance plan, SHIP, each quarter and are billed automatically. Refer to Student Health Insurance Plan for details about cost and the requirements for a waiver if you already insured under another plan. Please note that the effective date of the health insurance policy is important. SHIP coverage starts on September 21st, so you should plan to be covered with other insurance, for example, travel insurance, prior to the SHIP coverage start date of September 21st if you plan to arrive in the United States early. All admitted UC San Diego students must complete the tuberculosis screening questionnaire by July 30th, 2015. If you are completing the tuberculosis or TB screening questionnaire, you are screened positive for TB risk, and you are screened positive for TB, you will be asked to submit the TB assessment form. You will need to have your health care provider complete the form and send it to UC San Diego's Health Services by July 30th, which is coming up pretty soon. Failure to do so will result in your registration being placed on hold and your student account being also placed on hold until the requirement is completed. For more information, please visit the website listed here for student health. All questions regarding the TB screening questionnaire must be directed to Student Health Services. Admissions is unable to address any of these questions, and the International Center is also not able to address them. Again, please contact Student Health Services or visit the Student Health website listed here and utilize the Ask a Question tool on their homepage. This will prompt you to sign in, and you will have access to a nurse in the Student Health Center for your question. Most of your healthcare needs can be met on campus at UC San Diego's Health Services Center, which includes pharmacy, x-ray facilities, a lab, primary care and routine checkup services, as well as a nurse clinic. However, if you truly need urgent or emergency care and it is outside normal business hours, which is 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., there are several options for you. You can speak to a registered nurse after hours to get medical advice. You can go to an urgent care center off campus, or you can go to the emergency room at the local UC San Diego hospital. For more information about urgent or emergency care options, please go to the Student Health Services website. Please familiarize yourself with this page so you know where to go in case of an emergency. This page will also cover the insurance plan options and will also let you know what is covered for these after-hour visits. Getting started at UC San Diego. So we know that you have many questions about getting started here and making sure you've done everything you need to do to start classes. To make everything clear, we're going to review some information about setting up your email, enrolling for classes, paying fees, and making sure you stay in good academic standing. You should have already set up your UCSD email account. This is very important. Your email address will be used to communicate with many departments on campus. In fact, UC San Diego will only use your UC San Diego email address to communicate with you, so it is imperative that you check it frequently. If you are having problems setting up your account, please contact the ACMS Help Desk at the address listed above. So you can find information about academics and enrollment by accessing Triton Link. Please go to students.ucsd and click on Academics. You can then browse to find the topic that you are looking for, and you will also find information to contact the registrar's office with any questions you may have. We have listed some key dates for you to keep in mind on the screen. Please remember that you must be enrolled in at least 12 units every quarter. UC San Diego student fees. If you would like information about paying your tuition, you can find everything on Triton Link. Go to students.ucsd.edu and click on Finance Tools. You can then browse to find the topic that you are looking for and contact information for the cashier's office. The registration fee deadline is September 18th, so plan accordingly to pay any required fees prior to this date. Remember, the UC San Diego cashier's office does not accept credit cards, but they do accept cash, money, personal and international checks, and money orders in addition to other forms of payment. Check the billing and payments information above. If you are being funded by your department, please check with your department regarding financial disbursements. Because living in a foreign country is different from visiting it as a tourist, you will have to do a few extra things when you arrive. You'll likely have to set up a foreign bank account, arrange for cell phone service, and figure out a new transportation system. Fortunately, the internet has made it possible to do most of these things from the comfort of your home. Speak to other international students to get tips on these services, and you can also reference our website for general advice on local services in San Diego. We will also be having a vendor fair here at the International Center during our Welcome Week, where we will have vendors available for you to ask questions regarding cell phones and opening of banks. You should arrive in the United States with enough US dollars to get by for the first day. It is also a good idea to have a phone card with you. This way, even if you have problems with your email or your cell phone when you first arrive, you should be able to contact people. Here are some tips in opening a bank account and starting new cell phone services. Exact policies vary from bank to bank. However, you will likely need the following for the purposes of opening a bank account: your passport, your student ID, money for an initial deposit, which may be up to $100, your current local address, which is your San Diego address. And you will likely need the same forms for identification to purchase a cell phone contract. So please be sure to bring your passport and any other form of ID with you for this as well. As I said, at our International Welcome Program, we will have bank vendors and cell phone company representatives at our Resource and Vendor Fair, so you can open a bank account or buy a phone during the first week of the quarter. Getting involved at UC San Diego. The more you do to prepare yourself for the new and different, the easier it will be for you to accept and perhaps even adapt to these new ways of doing things. We have several programs geared specifically for international students to ensure your success at UC San Diego. We're going to make the most of your graduate experience, and the best way of doing that is by getting involved. Be sure to check out all of the social clubs and organizations on campus. The International Club is very popular with international students and is a great way to get out and meet new people. Please check us out on Facebook. And of course, school is not just about studying. You want to have fun too. So please be sure to check out all of the social clubs and organizations on campus. Part of the American University experience is to get involved and have fun. At the International Center, we have our famous Friday International Cafe, English and Action Tutor program, our Peer Leader program, TILS, our language exchange programs, and much, much more. Please check out the program website through the link listed above for more information. If some of you have traveled to the U.S. with family, such as your spouse and children, we have some programs that are created specifically for families too. So some final reminders. We've covered a lot of information today, and this webinar is coming to an end. You can start thinking about the last details of your departure preparation, and in conclusion, we have outlined some important tips, reminders, and deadlines for you to be aware of. We recognize that each student will pack differently in preparation for their time as a student here at UC San Diego. However, we have provided just a short list of some of the most important things to bring and not to bring, based on past international student questions and experiences. If you have further questions about what you should do and shouldn't pack, please be sure to ask at the end of this webinar. Here are some general questions you can consider before you travel. For example, what kind of weather is there in San Diego? Well, the weather here in San Diego is beautiful. Quite warm, actually. You rarely will need more than a sweatshirt even in the winter. Although, believe it or not, snow is just a 2-hour drive away during the winter. So browse through these questions, and if you need help with answering any of them, please feel free to contact us. These are several important things you must all do before you come to UC San Diego. If you do not complete these requirements, you may encounter difficulties registering for classes this fall. Departments may place an academic hold on your account, preventing you from enrollment, making changes to enrollment, and taking any actions in TritonLink, including making payments. So please be sure to read through these important requirements and make sure that you comply with all of them before the deadline's posted. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact us via the information listed above. A copy of this recording and a PDF version of the PowerPoint will be placed on the istudents.ucsd.edu website on the under Newly Admitted Students webinar page. Please feel free to refer back to this presentation on that page. Again, this will be posted on istudents.ucsd.edu under the Newly Admitted webinar page. Also, please fill out the survey at the end of this webinar. We will use your feedback when planning future webinars. Thank you so very much for your time today, and we look forward to meeting you this fall. Have a wonderful rest of the summer and enjoy the anticipation of coming to sunny San Diego this year. We will remain online and take your questions for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Please type in your question in the question box on the right of your screen.